Have you ever felt truly invisible, especially to the people who are supposed to know you best? Have you poured your entire being into a silent battle, only for your efforts to be dismissed as peculiarity, a strange quirk? Picture this: a vibrant, boisterous family gathering under the warm Neapolitan sun. The air hums with laughter, the scent of sizzling meat, and the loud, rhythmic clatter of family life. In the midst of this joyful chaos, a woman sits quietly, her face illuminated not by the glow of the grill, but by the cool light of a laptop screen. This was Bianca Russo, 35 years old, a freelance software developer, and to her bustling family, she was perpetually the weird tech girl. Her fingers danced across the keyboard, a flurry of silent, intricate movements that went unnoticed, or rather, actively ignored, by the festive crowd around her. She wore a simple, functional dress, not the flamboyant patterns favored by her aunts, and her hair, usually tied back for practicality, was escaping its confines in wisps around her focused face. The vibrant colors of the picnic blankets and the loud arguments over football scores created a stark contrast to her quiet intensity. Her presence, while physically there, was mentally a million miles away, navigating lines of code, negotiating terms, and building empires in the digital realm. The grill, large and imposing, bore the familiar emblem of Emberglow Grills, its shiny chrome reflecting the laughter and the smoke, a silent, almost ironic backdrop to Bianca's solitary pursuit. She had been working tirelessly for months, sacrificing weekends, foregoing social engagements, all for this one pivotal moment. The culmination of her relentless dedication was unfolding right now, under the very nose of her oblivious family. A bead of sweat traced a path down her temple, not from the heat of the grill, but from the pressure of the impending breakthrough. The sun dipped lower, casting long shadows across the yard, but Bianca's internal light, fueled by ambition and a quiet defiance, burned brighter than ever. She was not just a developer, she was a strategist, an architect of digital destinies, capable of more than anyone in her family could possibly imagine. Her story was about to ignite, transforming the ordinary into the extraordinary, all while they were enjoying their charred sausages. Bianca? Ancora with the computer? It's a family barbecue, not an office. Uncle Enzo's booming voice cut through the air, laden with a mix of playful mockery and genuine bewilderment. He wiped grease from his chin with a napkin, a caricature of boisterous Italian masculinity. His brother, Uncle Marco, chuckled, nudging Enzo with his elbow. "She's building a new version of Solitaire, Enzo. Give the girl a break." Their laughter, thick and dismissive, rippled through the gathered relatives. A few cousins shot sympathetic, if somewhat resigned, glances her way. Bianca's jaw tightened almost imperceptibly. She didn't look up, her gaze fixed on the glowing screen, but every word, every patronizing snicker, landed like a small, sharp pebble. This wasn't new. For years she had been the weird tech girl, her passion for programming seen as an eccentric hobby rather than a serious profession. They understood doctors, lawyers, even restaurateurs, but a freelance software developer who worked from home? That was an abstract concept, easily dismissed as glorified tinkering. "Don't you ever relax, Kara?" Aunt Sophia called out, her voice softer, but still echoing the underlying sentiment of disapproval. Bianca felt the familiar burn of frustration, a quiet inferno within her. They saw her hunched over a laptop. They didn't see the complex algorithms, the intricate network architecture, the multi-million-dollar deals she was orchestrating. They saw a woman avoiding conversation. They didn't see a mind racing, analyzing data, making split-second decisions that would define her future. The grill, Emberglow's top model, stood proudly beside Uncle Enzo, belching smoke. Its familiar logo seemed to mock her, a symbol of the very world that underestimated her. Bianca took a deep breath, the scent of charcoal and regret filling her lungs. She longed to shout, to explain, to make them understand the magnitude of what she was doing. But she knew it was futile. Words wouldn't pierce their preconceived notions. Only action, undeniable, irrefutable action, could ever truly make them see. She typed furiously, her fingers blurring across the keys, channeling her frustration into productive energy. The deal was close, closer than they could ever imagine. Bianca's journey to this moment was not a sudden ascent, but a grueling climb forged in the fires of personal struggle and quiet defiance. Unlike her cousins, whose paths were often laid out by family expectations or connections, Bianca had carved her own. Growing up, she felt an inherent mismatch between her analytical mind and the vibrant, often chaotic, emotional landscape of her family. While others gossiped or celebrated, Bianca found solace in the logic of numbers and the elegance of code. She wasn't born into wealth or privilege. Her parents, hardworking but traditional, viewed her early fascination with computers as an expensive distraction. Her first computer was a second-hand relic, painstakingly saved for, piece by piece, by working odd jobs throughout her teenage years. She devoured programming books, learned languages late into the night, fueled by instant coffee and an insatiable curiosity. There were countless nights she felt utterly alone, the only light in her small room emanating from her monitor, while the rest of the house slept soundly. This solitude, however, was her forge. It hardened her resolve, sharpened her skills, and instilled in her an unshakable self-reliance. When others went out, she coded. When they celebrated holidays, she often found herself debugging complex systems. There were moments of doubt, whispered suggestions from well-meaning relatives to pursue a safer, more traditional career, to find a nice husband and settle down. But Bianca heard a different calling, a silent promise within her own potential. She had faced rejection, encountered condescension in male-dominated tech circles, and learned to navigate the cutthroat world of freelance development with shrewdness and quiet tenacity. Each setback became a lesson, each dismissal a spark that fueled her ambition. She understood that true strength wasn't loud or boastful. It was the quiet, persistent pursuit of excellence, the unwavering belief in one's own worth, even when no one else saw it. This deal, this acquisition, was not just a business transaction. It was a testament to every late night, every whispered doubt, every moment of her hidden struggle. It was her declaration to the world, and most importantly, to herself. The deal Bianca was meticulously orchestrating was no small feat. It was the acquisition of Ember Glow Grills, a struggling but well-established brand, known for its durable outdoor cooking equipment, the very brand her uncles admired and unwittingly mocked her with. Her interest wasn't in barbecue accessories, it was in their extensive, yet underdeveloped, e-commerce platform and their vast, untapped customer data. Bianca envisioned a complete digital overhaul, transforming Emberglow from a brick-and-mortar legacy into a cutting-edge online powerhouse. She saw the potential for automation, personalized marketing, and a subscription service model that would revolutionize the industry. For months, she had been researching, analyzing financial reports, building intricate projections, and developing a revolutionary new software architecture tailored specifically for their needs. Her proposal wasn't just an offer, it was a blueprint for Emberglow's survival and unprecedented growth. She had approached them not as a typical corporate buyer, but as a strategic partner, a visionary offering a lifeline that few others could even conceive. The negotiations had been arduous, stretching over countless video calls and late-night emails, often clashing with her family's unyielding social demands. She had foregone sleep, fueled by the conviction that this was her moment to bridge the chasm between her quiet digital world and the tangible impact she yearned to make. Every line of code, every financial model she had painstakingly built, was a testament to her belief that technology could revive dormant industries and unlock unforeseen value. The stakes were incredibly high, not just financially, but personally. Failure would mean not only a significant loss of time and capital, but also a reinforcement of her family's dismissive narrative. Success, however, would be a seismic shift, a silent revolution that would redefine her place, not just in their eyes, but in the entire industry. The digital signature on the final contract was moments away, a culmination of months of relentless, invisible labor. Thousands of miles away, in a glass-walled office high above a bustling financial district, Alistair Finch, CEO of Emberglow Grills, stared at his computer screen with a profound sense of exhaustion. Lines of worry were etched deep around his eyes, and his usually immaculate suit seemed to sag with the weight of responsibility. Emberglow, once a titan in the outdoor cooking industry, was bleeding money. Their traditional business model was crumbling under the relentless assault of nimble online competitors, and their attempts to adapt had been clumsy, underfunded, and ultimately, ineffective. Alistair had spent countless nights agonizing over layoffs, impending bankruptcy, and the crushing legacy of a family business that spanned generations. He had seen countless proposals from private equity firms, all offering meager sums for Emberglow's assets, eager to strip it bare. Then, a few months ago, an unsolicited email landed in his inbox. It was from a freelance software developer named Bianca Russo, a name he barely recognized at first. Her proposal was audacious, unconventional, and frankly, almost unbelievable. It wasn't just an offer to buy the company. It was a meticulously detailed plan to completely overhaul their digital infrastructure, revive their brand, and catapult them into the 21st century. Alistair, cynical from years of corporate disappointments, had initially dismissed it. A lone developer, acquiring a multi-million-dollar company? It seemed preposterous. But something in her detailed analysis, the sheer depth of her understanding of their internal weaknesses and market opportunities, had piqued his curiosity. He had taken the call. Her quiet confidence, her profound technical knowledge, and her clear, unblinking vision had slowly chipped away at his skepticism. She spoke not of quick profits, but of sustainable growth, of a genuine belief in Emberglow's core quality, reimagined for a new era. Today was the final call, the moment of truth. He had consulted his board, faced their skepticism, but something in Bianca's unique approach had resonated with him. He was desperate, yes, but he also recognized true brilliance when he saw it. He leaned forward, eyes fixed on the video conferencing window, waiting for the young woman from Naples to join the call and seal the fate of his family's legacy. He had a glimmer of hope he hadn't felt in years, a risky gamble that felt undeniably right. The video call connected, bridging the gap between Alistair's sterile office and Bianca's vibrant, chaotic backyard. Bianca's voice, calm and clear, filled the small speaker on Alistair's desk, cutting through the background noise of distant laughter and the sizzling grill. "Mr. Finch," she began, her tone professional, "I believe we have reached a mutually beneficial agreement. Are you ready to proceed with the final signatures?" Alistair nodded, a tight smile on his face, a mix of relief and awe. "Yes, Miss Russo, your proposal is remarkable. It's a new dawn for Emberglow." The digital contract appeared on her screen. Bianca's fingers, which had moments ago been subjected to her uncle's jokes, now moved with the precision of a surgeon, navigating the final clauses, inputting her digital signature. Each click was a hammer blow against the walls of their perception, a silent declaration of her arrival. Outside, Uncle Enzo bellowed, "Marco, pass the tongs. These sausages aren't going to flip themselves." The irony was almost unbearable. They were literally standing next to the very product Bianca was acquiring, oblivious to the momentous transaction unfolding beside them. Bianca felt a surge of quiet power, a profound satisfaction that rippled through her veins. It wasn't about gloating, but about the validation of years of unseen effort, of dismissed talent. She wasn't just signing a document, she was signing her name onto a future, not just her own, but for hundreds of employees at Emberglow, and ironically, for the very family members who mocked her. As the final confirmation flashed across her screen, a simple, "deal closed" message, Bianca closed her laptop. She didn't jump, didn't cheer. She simply took a deep, steadying breath. The air smelled sweeter, the laughter seemed richer, and the setting sun cast a golden glow that felt almost celebratory. She had done it. She had closed a multi-million-dollar acquisition from a folding chair in her parents' backyard, amidst the clamor of a Sunday BBQ. She looked up, offering a small, private smile to the endless blue sky, a triumph whispered only to the wind. With her laptop closed, Bianca re-entered the familial fray, a quiet sentinel observing the scene. Her expression betrayed nothing of the monumental event that had just transpired. Uncle Enzo, oblivious, gestured expansively with a drumstick. "See, Bianca? This is life. Good food, good company, no screens. You should try it sometime." He winked, his tone still laced with patronizing humor. Aunt Sophia, ever practical, chimed in. "She'll be back to her numbers soon enough, Enzo." It's her way. The conversations continued around her, stories of neighbors, complaints about politicians, debates about the best way to make Sunday gravy. Bianca listened, her mind still humming with the afterglow of her success. She felt a strange detachment, as if she were viewing the scene through a transparent wall. They were all so comfortably ensconced in their perception of her. The quiet, eccentric girl who preferred machines to people, the one who worked incessantly but, in their eyes, never truly achieved anything tangible or noteworthy. The Emberglow grill continued to sizzle, its logo prominent, a symbol of their collective blindness. Bianca found herself studying it, the sleek lines, the sturdy construction, knowing that soon, very soon, it would be hers to reshape, to infuse with her own vision. She picked up a plate, joining the line for food, her movements calm and deliberate. There was no need to announce her victory. The truth, when it revealed itself, would be far more impactful than any words she could utter now. It was a patience born of long years of being underestimated, a quiet confidence that knew its moment would come, undeniable and self-evident. She ate her sausage, savoring not just the taste, but the sweet anticipation of a future where her worth would no longer be a topic of family debate, but a matter of fact. The sun finally dipped below the horizon, casting the backyard in a soft, twilight glow, a prelude to the dawn of a new era. The year that followed Bianca's silent triumph was marked by subtle, yet significant, shifts. Emberglow Grills, under its new, visionary leadership, began its metamorphosis. Online sales soared, driven by a meticulously redesigned website and an aggressive, data-driven marketing strategy Bianca had personally overseen. The company, once teetering on the brink, was now reclaiming its market share with unprecedented speed, fueled by Bianca's innovative software solutions. Product lines were streamlined, manufacturing processes optimized, and a new energy permeated the company, a direct result of Bianca's quiet but firm direction. Back in Naples, the family noticed small things, though they couldn't connect the dots. Bianca seemed busier than ever, often flying out of the country for business meetings, a stark contrast to her previous life spent entirely within her home office. Her attire subtly shifted, less casual, more refined, reflecting the demands of high-level corporate interactions. They would sometimes catch snippets of news reports about Emberglow's surprising resurgence, always attributing it to some faceless corporate turnaround or a change in market trends, never associating it with their weird tech girl. Uncle Enzo occasionally grumbled about how expensive the Emberglow grills were getting, a testament to the brand's revitalized premium positioning, entirely unaware that he was complaining about Bianca's strategic pricing. There was a faint sense of pride in the family about their local brand doing so well, a pride Bianca observed with quiet amusement. She never offered explanations, never boasted. She simply continued to work, transforming vision into reality, allowing the results to speak for themselves. The gap between their perception and her reality widened, creating a dramatic irony that only Bianca was privy to. She understood that validation, true validation, came not from seeking approval, but from achieving excellence. And she was on the cusp of demonstrating that excellence in the most undeniable way possible. Another summer, Another family, BBQ. The scent of grilled meat wafted through the air, but this time, something felt different. A palpable anticipation hung in the air, though only Bianca knew why. She arrived, not quietly as before, but with a confident grace that somehow commanded attention, even as she remained reserved. As the family gathered, Uncle Enzo, ever the proud host, gestured towards his prized Emberglow grill. "Look at this beauty. Still going strong after all these years," he boomed. But as he wiped down the shiny chrome, his hand paused. His eyes narrowed, then widened in disbelief. Marco leaned in, his own jovial expression fading into a frown of confusion. Printed clearly on a new, elegant plaque just beneath the Emberglow logo was a small, italicized inscription, "A Russo Industries Company." The laughter died down, replaced by a ripple of whispers. Bianca stood nearby, a faint, knowing smile playing on her lips. Enzo slowly turned his head, his gaze finding Bianca. His face, usually ruddy with good cheer, drained of color. Marco's jaw went slack. The realization dawned on them, slow and agonizing. This wasn't just a new company logo, it was her company. Bianca Russo, the weird tech girl they had mocked and dismissed, had not only bought the brand, but had etched her family name onto its legacy. Silence fell, thick and heavy, punctuated only by the distant chirping of crickets. All eyes turned to Bianca. She met their stares with a calm, unwavering gaze. No triumph, no anger, just a profound sense of peace. "I told you I was working," she said, her voice soft, yet resonating with an authority they had never heard before. The uncles, for the first time, were truly speechless. Their faces were a canvas of shock, embarrassment, and a dawning, grudging respect. The grill, once a symbol of their superiority, now stood as a monument to their profound misjudgment. The silence that followed Bianca's simple statement was more impactful than any grand speech. Uncle Enzo and Uncle Marco, humbled and clearly uncomfortable, finally dropped their gazes. The family, after the initial shock, began to stir, a buzz of murmurs replacing the earlier stillness. Some looked at Bianca with awe, others with shame for their own past dismissals. Bianca didn't press the moment. She didn't need to. The logo on the grill, her name etched beneath it, spoke volumes. She had not only acquired a company, she had reclaimed her narrative. She had transformed invisibility into undeniable presence. Her journey from the overlooked, weird tech girl to the visionary entrepreneur had reached its undeniable apex. The next hour was filled with awkward apologies, hesitant congratulations, and a newfound respect in the eyes of her family. Bianca accepted it all with grace, understanding that true respect is earned, not demanded. Her story became a quiet legend within the family, a cautionary tale of judging books by their covers, and a beacon of hope for anyone striving in silence. This wasn't just a tale of corporate acquisition. It was a testament to the power of quiet perseverance, the boundless potential hidden beneath unassuming exteriors, and the profound impact one determined individual can have. It reminds us that often, the loudest voices are not the ones making the greatest waves. Sometimes, the most powerful revolutions happen in the quiet corners, in the focused gaze of someone dismissed, in the silent tap of fingers on a keyboard. So, what hidden battles are being fought around you, unnoticed and unappreciated? What quiet genius is lurking beneath the surface of someone you know, perhaps even someone you've overlooked? Share this story, comment below, and remind someone today. True value isn't always loud or obvious. It often resides in the quiet, persistent dedication of a hidden gem, waiting for their moment to shine. Never underestimate the quiet ones, for their ambition often burns the brightest.